when a person's soul departs, how long is it that they are in a semi-sleep period before they move on to the spiritual realm?
If someone passes, they are instantly, once they have said goodbye here, they are instantly in the spiritual realm. And then, depending on what level of enlightenment they have attained while here upon the earth, it does matter as to where they go, what steps they take to understand what has happened. For some, it takes a little longer. For others, it is instant. But they are always immediately in the spiritual realm. If that was your question.
I have memories of being with people in many rooms.
Yes.
Rooms of study, of
Do you often...
class.
Yes. Do you see this in your dreams as well?
Yes.
This is part of that realm as well. And you can access it during a dream state or a meditative state as well. You can be contacted by your spirit guides and guardian angels and loved ones who have passed. You can talk to them before you are in spirit. Sometimes it is during a dream, sometimes it is in a waking state. But the rooms that you speak of that appear to be classrooms, they are exactly what you have said. They are classrooms.
You mentioned enlightenment. We don't... Growing up in the churches over here, that was a subject that was not really ever discussed. What are the different elements or degrees of enlightenment?
This is... Excuse us.
That's all right.
Was there another part to your question?
No, I would like to understand, because I've often heard the youth in India. It seems like that is the highest question on their list, is how do I achieve enlightenment?
Yes. A lot of this is due to Buddha. But there are others who have achieved enlightenment. They did not do it in the same way. Others who came to this planet who were enlightened from the moment they arrived. So it is something that many speak of as a place to attain or reach. And what we would like to say is that it is a place to remember. Everyone contains enlightenment within them, contains the exact same knowledge. It is just that some choose to focus on the physical world. Their reason for being in this life is to, some it is to make money, Others, it is to push their physical body to its limits. And you don't think of those cases as being enlightenment, but it is a form of it. Because when they reach the peak of physical abilities, it's as if they transcend the physical. And for others, they may focus on monetary wealth. They may focus on the business world. And some of them will go down the wrong path. Others may find a path to enlightenment in this way. They may reach a place where they have made enough money where they can help others. And they want to spread their wealth, where they want to help others attain the same goals that they have had. And this is a form of enlightenment. And then there is the classic form, which is spiritual enlightenment. And there are many who believe that that is the only form of enlightenment, and this is not true. Everyone has a mind, a body, and a spirit. And when someone is capable of transforming and attaining all three levels, where they have at one time achieved physical enlightenment, spiritual enlightenment, and a mental enlightenment. That is where everyone is once they are in spirit. Some people have attained this while they are still alive. Buddha, Jesus, Mohammed, there are several who have done this. They have learned to trust themselves and to trust the messages that come from spirit.
So it's elevating the consciousness beyond, pushing beyond
Yes.
the physical.
It can be in all three ways. As we have said, physical, mental, and spiritual. But most focus on one way or another, on one of the three. It is rare to find a person who focuses on all three. And most, such as the case of the group that you are talking about in India, much of their thoughts are toward the spiritual realm. But they're also very aware that creating an art piece and looking at it could cause you to transcend, could cause you to have a reaction to it. This is why we want everyone to know that the life journey is the most important one. You can see the path to enlightenment. We have said this before, you can see it in a baby's eyes. You can feel it in a lover's kiss. You can feel it the moment someone passes into spirit. Sometimes that is a very emotional experience. The journey of life itself is most important. There is no longer a need to be focused on only one area of your life to reach enlightenment. Do you have another question?
Explain to us, when we separate from the physical and become one with the spiritual realm again, how is it that we are able to connect with that energy, and for how long can we connect to that energy? Or is it until that spirit chooses to return?
Yes. You're talking about mediumship readings, correct?
Mm-hmm.
When someone leaves their body, it is actually a releasing of energy. Sometimes, if someone is very aware, they might perceive a slight haze or almost a ghost, we could say. Smoke, maybe, that actually exits the body, usually in the area of the solar plexus. And when this happens, that energy that is the soul is available to communicate immediately. Often they wait a little while before they are ready. And they will use knowledge from the lifetime that they have just had to make themselves recognizable to the person trying to talk to them. And this can continue until they have reached the point where they are coming back to this earth for another lifetime. Then they are no longer able to be communicated with. So some people who are trying to reach someone and may have difficulty with it, it could be that that person has turned around and already come back to the earth plane in another body. Usually groups will incarnate together, so they will often wait, sometimes 100 years before coming back. Others will come back very quickly, within 10 or 20 years. Usually it is when a few major players are in spirit altogether and can make plans for their next incarnation, that they will start coming back. And they may leave someone there in spirit to communicate with those who still have to come, who still have to join them, but are in body. They will pass on the plan.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Describe karma. Describe if we or one of our family were to commit a hurtful act against us, how does that come out in the wash, so to speak?
Okay. There are many ways to eliminate karma. It can be eliminated by doing an opposite behavior, especially if it is directed toward one person. That is why often certain karmic debts cannot be repaid until the next lifetime. And Yet there's other acts that can cause karma that can be wiped away in the same lifetime. Not just by behavior, but also through healing. Whether it is through a spiritual healing, a physical healing, mental, or an action. Something that, again, can happen almost immediately, where someone has done wrong and they turn around and fix it within one lifetime.
And if it's not fixed in this lifetime, does it carry over?
Yes, and it could carry over multiple lifetimes. If someone, there are times when someone is not in your life for multiple lifetimes. And that debt will still be there. And it will wait until you have the opportunity to repair what has been wronged. The best thing to do is to work on spiritual healing, to wipe away anything that is small, anything that can be easily forgiven. Sometimes even the person who you think you did wrong to may have already forgiven you. And the karmic debt is actually, you owe it to yourself. That will happen. And some of those cases are very easily taken care of with spiritual healing. And then there are people who you are not very aware of. It's the idea of the butterfly effect. There could be something that you do that affects something else, and it affects something else, and it affects something else. But ultimately, you are unaware of what your actions have caused. And this is a type of unintentional karma that can also be healed in the same lifetime. And there are some who can correct their karma almost immediately, just by saying they're sorry, just by having an emotion.
What if it's not received on the other end?
Meaning if the person is unaware of it or does not accept.
Does not accept.
It is almost like the karma is transferred back to them in that case. If the person has truly asked for forgiveness and the forgiveness has not been given, the person asking for it has taken care of their karma, and that debt is now the other person's responsibility.
So you've freed yourself.
Yes.
Once you've allowed that healing to come in.
It has to come into your own heart, your own mind. Once you feel it completely. Unfortunately, sometimes when this occurs and someone does not accept, the person asking for the forgiveness may not allow themselves to heal, may still hold the energy of not being forgiven.
A blockage.
Yes. And in this case, it's not exactly the karma that is still felt, but they have created another form of block, or they have not released it themselves. It's like they feel like they have been wounded twice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything come to mind? That's all I have. Thank you for sharing with us today.
You are welcome. We are happy to have both of you here. This is very good energy.
The birds are even quiet for you.
Yes. We believe they like the music. We will go. Thank you.